Hello! Welcome to Glossop, Manchester, Glossop and Hadfield. One computer screen is saying 10 AM and the other 7 PM. Well, it's 7 PM for Aussies, 10 AM for the Brits. So there we go. Alright. This is what we all want to see, isn't it? Glossop Line, Manchester, Hadfield and Glossop. Climb aboard the Hyper Networker and embark on a journey in northwest England. Magnificent Mancunian scenery comes to life along the echoes of the fallen Woodhead line. Surviving as part of the Northern Trains network, experience the quaint Glossop line in Train Sim World. Quaint because it's little. So, let's have a quick look, seeing out if there's anything you particularly want to look at. So these are the scenarios. There's waterworks, where you have to get through a flooded area with a burst water pipe, and of course you're all going to go and stand in the water fountain, aren't you? Of course you are. 3-point turn. Take your train from Manchester Piccadilly to Glossop. All is not as it seems. I'm going to leave that one as a bit of a thing. Glossop Line. This one's an interesting new concept. This is adding a bit of gameplay to the trains, where you ride your train, or you drive it actually, and you go to particular points and it says, right, take a photo of this train. It might be yours or it might be another one. And then they appear on a billboard at the end of the run inside the station. It's kind of cool. Depot delivery. Your train breaks. And this is something I've been asking for a long time. Faults. Because you want your trains to die and then go to fix them. So this one, you miraculously fix it and bring it back out. It's cool. Are you local? I'll leave this one as a bit of a guesser. You can probably tell by the fact it's longer than the normal train that something happens. And then there's On Guard, which we'll have a look at tonight. We'll run a little bit of it. Won't run the whole thing because I don't want to spoil it all for you. But if you do want to spoil it, in about 5 minutes there'll be a video about it. And you can watch the whole thing. Just do that if you want to. If you don't, I'm not going to spoil the whole thing unless you choose to. Alright, services. What do we got? Well, the native is the Class 323 Northern Trains livery. Is it different to the other one? Not really. There's the Class 40 Blue, which is coming in from Northern Trans Pennine, and it runs a couple of rail tours. Then there's the 20, which often top and tails with the 40, and it runs, I think there's one 20 service from memory. There's the 158. You'll see these a lot as AI at Manchester. Well, a lot. You'll see them occasionally as AI at Manchester, and you get to drive one of them if you want to. I have tried taking over some of the AI ones, and you can, but you don't last long because you go off the rails, go off the portal. Then there's the Class 37, which will come in from Tees Valley line. And the Class 66 comes in from all over the place. Pretty much anywhere where there is a Class 66, it will come in. You do need the RHTT if you want to run the RHTT runs, which is the railhead treatment train. The other ones all do pretty much vanilla freight, and there's quite a few services. We'll have a quick look. We're going to run one of those later. And there's the Jubilee. Now, the Jubilee has a single service. Now, the Rail 2 services aren't massively long because they prototypically start at Manchester and they get off the route fairly quickly. Freight-wise, let's have a quick look. Let's take the East Coast Way fella. There's rather a lot of freight services, which is quite cool to see, and different kinds of things. So there's freight. Some of them are coal. There's RHTTs. I think there's 3 or 4 RHTTs, something like that, and the rest of them are all freight trains sprinkled around. Now, these trains change seasonally, so depending on what you choose here, you can see different trains here. The Class 40 that we mentioned before, there's 3, and the Class 20's got the same ones. One way's the Class 20, and the other way's the Class 40. Funny that. I do like the Class 20, it's a funny thing. And the 158, I think, as I said, there's one drivable service. It's not a very long one. That's why there's not many drivable, because they're only 7 minutes. They chucked one in to make people happy. But let's look at the star of the show. So we're going to run 2G43. 2G43. Hadfield to Manchester Piccadilly via Glossop. So we'll get to see the whole route. Now, if there's anything you want to see, sing out and let me know. Now, hopefully nothing weird happens during this stream, because this has just popped up. I know you can't see it. It says activate Windows. Go to settings to activate Windows, because I've just rebuilt my computer. And that's after yesterday when my CPU had a little bit of a meltdown. We're starting in the dark. What a great way to start a stream. But anyway, let's put the muster key in. I'm using Rail Driver to control this thing. So go into forwards, we'll get the doors open. So if you want to open the doors with the panels, you need to put your key in. If you're going to use your controller or your pad on the Rail Driver or your U and Y keys, you don't need to put the key in. But if you want to use these buttons, you do. So let's pop on some safety systems. Let's put a light on so we can see. Turn on AWS and we will turn on Vigilance and acknowledge the AWS. When we open the window, it's obviously a nice warm night in the middle of when did we pick? June? Something like that. Let's wait till 7:08. Well, let's go have a look. What else would we do? Got the headlights right. Night head, yep, good. So let's go have a look outside. Just close that window so none of our rampant passengers get in. Look at them all. A train with passengers. Wow. You get to talk to some of them on the guards one. G'day mate, nice hat. Hello, welcome to Glossop. Actually we're at Hadfield, aren't we? Here's a route map, let's have a quick look. So we right now are down here at Hadfield. We're going to go round to Glossop. We're going to go behind Dinting actually to Glossop. Then we come back through Dinting to Broadbottom. Remember that Queen song? Something about bicycle races. Hattersley, Godley, see, there is a God. Newton for Hyde, Flowery Field, that's where all the hippies live. Then there's a bit of a break until we get to Guidebridge, Fairfield, Gorton, Ashbury's, the Stupid Station, and Manchester Piccadilly. Why do I call it the Stupid Station? Well, in reality only one train a day stops there. I don't think any do in these services, at least I haven't found one. Let me know if you do find one, I'd love to know. Hello, that train guy. Hello, Florian. Did I pick January? Maybe I did. Why don't we have a look? Why don't we have a look? Because, yeah, it'd be better to run it in daylight, wouldn't it? It would be better. Let's just do that. What are we doing out here, Wally? Choose a route. Glossop. Timetable. Class 323. I reckon it probably defaulted to something like that. Let's start in Feb. And we want 2 G43 706. Yeah, Feb. That should be dawn, shouldn't it? We should get to dawn on the way to Manchester. That's good. I like that. Now we've got to do all that again. Oh well. Life. My bloody taskbar keeps popping up, which you guys can't see, but it's covering up the game. That's better. That's lots better. Alright. Leave the brakes as they are. We'll leave the headlights as they are. AWS. Vigilance. Acknowledge. And let's pop it. Unlock doors. Let's pop it back into off so it doesn't yell. And we'll go back to looking around. Shall we look at the inside of the train? There's an idea. Hello folks, how you doing? Go and sit with our passengers. So what's your reason for riding today? Enjoying this new train service? No? Yes? They're very creepy, aren't they? I did a time-lapse of these guys the other day. It'll come out on my shorts at some point and they sit there going, it looks very funny. Lots of people, lots of DTG employees, it seems. You can sit in the seat that someone's in. What happens then? Oh, I sat in the one behind him. Uh-oh. It's Ponytail Man. Is this the one with a panel? No, to go to the middle one. If you go to the middle one, there are guard panels that you can open and play with. Now, these... they don't stop the train doing anything, so if you pop in here and do local door close and local, yeah, so they don't actually stop the train from doing it. It's going to close because I played with it. That's okay. Is it time to go anyway? It's very close. Let's get ready so we get out of here on time. Any questions on the train or anything you've seen so far? It's almost time to go, so we'll start the doors closing. They're a bit slow. Little bit of a horn. Done. Not done. Traction not released for the cable. Oh, my door. My door's open. What an idiot. Okay, this time for sure. There we go. That's better. You'll notice our train number is down here on the GSMR. And you may have noticed in the carriage that it would have been declaring that we were a Manchester train. I didn't actually look, but it does. The PIS on the outside is automatic, like it is on Birmingham. So we're going to Manchester Piccadilly. No, I'm going too fast. Let's just fix that. There we go. Manchester Piccadilly. And we're going there via the other station. Nice dawn light. Just thinking back on the start there, I think the first time you start the game after you've selected something, so that's just gone off for this fixed yellow signal here. After the first time you start the game, it just seems to make something up, and it just picks a month. It's not the month you selected. Pretty sure I've reported that. Alright, we are heading towards Dinting, where we will run around the back. You have to keep an eye on your speed limits, because they chop and change a little around Dinting. They're quite slow through Dinting Station. Let me just turn the game up a little bit. Green signal and a warning of a diversion. So we're not going to be on the main. Now what you might have noticed is that points off to the left, but I believe we'll actually go off to the right. And apparently that is actually prototypical. I did query that one, because it seemed a bit strange to me. Slow right down. Are we going off to the right? No, we're not. Oh, of course not. We're coming... Yeah, don't worry. I'm thinking of coming the other way. Hello, Tinkerbell. Welcome. You know, I was thinking that we were coming from Glossop going to Hadfield, but we're not, are we? We're going from Hadfield to Glossop, so of course it goes to the left. That Tane Grey. TSC players try not to spend money for 5 seconds. Impossible. Is there a sale on again? Oh, the bundles. Yes, the big 4 bundles. If there's anything you'd like to see, let me know in the chat. I'm happy to hump out at stations and walk around and let you see stuff. So this is, well, it'll be what you get now, but the stuff that I recorded the other day was all done on early access. I'm pretty sure this will be the same as what comes out tomorrow. We have an abundance of 25 signs here. There's a funnier one than that. There's one where there's a 25 and a 45 stacked on top of each other, which I think is kind of funny. I'm not sure if it's real or not. We head round to Glossop. They're expensive for everyone, Train Guy. They really are. And contrary to popular belief, ambassadors don't get everything for free. We get some stuff for free, but not everything. So I do feel your pain. I gradually fill out my back catalogue for TSC when there's sales on. There's the ones with a 25 and a 45 stacked on top of each other. I kept meaning to go and have a look on Googly Maps and see if that's prototypical or not. But, I mean, I guess so. It looks like it's made that way, doesn't it? Doesn't look like an accident, like there's just 2 of them there. Does anyone know? Tinkerbell does singing and interesting things. Did a cool video on Hong Kong trams the other day. It's quite interesting to watch. So if you like something that's generally not trains and a little bit different, dive over to Tinkerbell's channel. Even if you don't like something different, dive over to Tinkerbell's channel and subscribe and just turn off notifications. Let's get her a few more subscribers. Got a fixed yellow because the next signal can only ever be red down at the end of this platform. You don't want to come in here too quickly. At this time of year where there's no snow, it's fine, but if you've got snow, you can go a little bit slidey. And let's just say I know the hard way what a train looks like on top of the station. You are welcome, Tinkerbell. Welcome to Glossop. Yes, Florian, you can. You won't be able to post a link to it, but you're welcome to put in the channel name. And if we get a moment where we're stuck somewhere waiting for a signal or something, I can go have a look at the channel and see if I can find the link for you. Now, the stops at Glossop and Hadfield are a little bit finicky to make sure that the points don't get stuck anywhere. For the most part, the stations are reasonably detailed. There's a bit of clutter around the place, which I like. That'll do. Now, this is part one, so let's start shutting down our trains. Put tail lights on, headlights off. We want to put the brakes into step 3, reverse it into off, and we'll come back on. Let's see what we got. Silver, boring. Return to free roam. Let's finish shutting this end off. Now, you don't have to turn the safety systems off, but I have found with some trains it's a good idea. What I don't do is I don't bother turning the GSMR off because it doesn't do anything anyway. Now we pop out here and go for a quick run up the other end to take over the train so that we don't lose it, because it leaves pretty quickly. It's up here. Look at that, there's no one in the chair yet. We're lucky. Sit down. Now it's our train. Master key. Forwards. Close the door. Turn on AWS and vigilance. Acknowledge those. I'm using the Q key to acknowledge. You can use circle or B on your controls as appropriate. Now we just wait for a few more seconds and probably close the doors. Because it is, in fact, time to go. Well, maybe it's not time to go. It is time to go, but it's not, if you know what I mean. Because it's 17:30, I just realised that's why there was no one sitting in here. It's not time to go at all. So, we'll put it back in off so it doesn't yell. And let's finish looking at the train. So we're on a service to Manchester Piccadilly. Excellent. I have noticed, just for disclosure, the next station is Dinting, which is correct. Sometimes when it says this station is, all these people I'm in the way of here. Sometimes when it says the next station is, it gets it wrong. The next station's always okay, but this station is sometimes wrong, I've noticed. What do we got? We've got a minute. Let's pop out and look at Glossop. Collectibles. This is one of them here. A little ladybug that turns into a flower pot. There are posters. Support local. Shop locally. We've already seen the route map, which is another collectible, so that's another one of those. And there are, last but not least, newspapers. And these ones are a little bit boring because it's an international moose count. And the Granny wins World Wrestling Championship. And I think these come from the Canada route, from memory. Got a few more seconds. There's a few, they do hide a few collectibles in some of the stations, so don't assume you found them all when you've found one. I haven't found any that are hidden. Ooh, flower pot. I haven't found any that are hidden behind walls or anything like that, so there's no mean ones. But there are some in some pretty interesting places. The stations, quite a few of them have places that you can go while you're wandering around. We should probably get in and lock the doors and shut this one. I'm going to have to get up to get that. Get that. Just better shut 9 as well. Close. While I keep looking off to the side, I have a rail driver here that I'm driving it. Alright, catching up with the chat. Florian thinks this is great value for what you get. You take this with a grain of salt. I am an ambassador. I don't have to say it's good, but it is good. I actually quite like it. I like a quick commuter route, and this is a quick commuter route, so it's quite good. There's a lot of variety, there's a lot of freight. There's a wife eating chips very loudly. Florian says, Don Coffee, a lot of great trips in the north of England. I actually know the Don Coffee channel. Good guy. Very knowledgeable. I encourage you to go find Don Coffee, for hell yeah. Train Guy's lamenting the Steam pricing policies. What you should do is go to Argentina, Train Guy. It's about 37 cents. Because Argentinian money is not worth very much. So they don't have to pay very much. Off we go. We don't get to go fast very long though. Florian says it's €24.99, Train Guy. I haven't actually seen the Australian price. I will see that released tomorrow on Steam. You can always look it up on the Steam depot if you want to. It will be there. There is a loyalty discount on all platforms if you already own the 323. So if you've already got Birmingham, you get 10% off, I believe. The only exception is on PlayStation, where it's a little bit weirder. PlayStation, if you're in PS Plus, you get 10% off. Everybody does. Because they don't have a way to say, oh, you own this bit. Alright, let's come back down to 25 in true commuter fashion. Coffee everywhere all over the floor. Perfect. Just in time, look at that. Pedestrian crossing. I have to do 3 flights to go to Argentina. Tippy munching wife coming through the microphone. Can you hear her rummaging around over there? Let's drop back down for the 10-mile bit to come around this corner. Going a bit quick. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the next stop will be Dinting. And we'll pop in and have a look at the PIS and see what that looks like. Dinting is a triangular station because it's in the middle of a triangle. And it looks to me like at some point there might have been a platform across the back. But it doesn't exist anymore. There's another collectible flower pot there. Pull it up for Dinting. These people out. Shall we have a quick wander around Dinting platform? Why not? Very quick, because we're not here very long. So it's got the 2 sides. There's the side that goes to Hadfield and comes from Hadfield, and there's the side that goes to and comes from Glossop. They both go into the same track just up there. It goes into a single track and then off to the double on the viaduct. Some trains go to Hadfield first, some go to Glossop first, some only go to one or the other, just to be different. Is it time? Yes, it's time. Close them both. It says Romania doesn't have a direct flight to the US. That's probably because, you know, it's in that area. They don't like America. Let's come out and hop up here so you can see the triangle in its infinite glory. There we go. And we'll come back here and come and look at our giant viaduct. So here's a nice bridge moment for you. Falls out of there. We can speed up now anyway. Florian says he started driving a few of the better known routes Hudless. I think you'll be fine with this one. got the fixed yellow up here. Hello V, how are you? Welcome. We're driving on the new Glossop. We have just been from Hadfield to Glossop and just left Ginting. We're now heading off to Bicycle Race, Broadbottom. Why do I keep calling it Bicycle Race? Well, if you're a Queen fan, you'll understand. If you're not a Queen fan, just Google Queen Bicycle Race and you'll understand. Lovely bit of dawn light going on. There's a sneaky excavator up there. There's a lot of stuff which is only just in your line of sight on this route, which I quite like. It makes it feel a bit lived in. Frame rates are okay, sitting up there. I'm not running my usual power station consuming PC. I unfortunately had my processor die while streaming on Sunday. I'm going through the RMA process with Intel now, trying to get a satisfying result for me. I don't care if it's a satisfying result for Intel, it doesn't worry me at all. I want a satisfying result for me. Another little bridge coming up, so let's scoot around and watch the train go over the top, as you do. I should probably start slowing down, because we're coming through a very tight curve and we're coming into Broadbottom. It is a good song. I like it. And I'll probably mention it every time I stream this, because it's a bit like Cathcart Circle, where I always go, there can be only one. Because, you know, it's just the done thing. It's a route map I haven't collected. We shall rectify that in just a moment. Let's get the doors open, turn the train off. Don't have long here. Anything coming? No? Good. Let's go get that route map. Platforms do have climb up everywhere that I've found, so you can get up no problems. Back in the chair. Oh, is it time to close the doors yet? Nearly, nearly, nearly. 3, 2, 1. That'll do. And they should close just on time. That train guy is clearly an ABBA fan. Off we go. Full bore. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this service to Manchester Piccadilly. The next stop will be at Hattersley. And yes, there's an Aussie driving your train right now. Be afraid. It's getting foggy. Foggy on a reveal stream. What? Oh well. Lots of nice bits of track and junk scattered around the place. We do have a few of the Rivet signature cut-off trees, so yes, Rivet did have a little bit of work done on this route. And there's a smattering of the Rivet beavers have been here trees. It's had a bit of work. I quite like it. After the fresh install I did today, I'm curious to see if any of the things I reported have been addressed. There were a couple. I should stop here, shouldn't I? Apologies for the stutters from my crappy PC. Maybe we should try the emergency brake. There we go. That'll do it. Any door in the platform is a good door, I say. Doors unlocked. Resetting the emergency brake on this one is relatively easy, they just do. How long are we here for? Are we here long enough to have a quick look? Maybe. It's sad. Beep, 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 beep. You may notice you get 2 beeps sometimes, because the beeps outside are not spatialized, so that you know that your safety system alerts are going off. Can't go up the tunnel, unfortunately, because it doesn't go anywhere. Step up. Cab door closed. Time. It will hold the brakes in step 3 if you go back to the off position, but you do get a driver hint about it. Off we go. Back up to full bore. Well, I think the only bug I've seen really is in the PIS, so it's the... doesn't always tell you that the station it's at. Sometimes it did, you've left it. It does eventually. It might just be because it's cycling through. I haven't really spent enough time to figure that out, but it is something I've noticed. The route itself looks pretty good. I haven't found anywhere where I've fallen off the world wandering around. And you guys know me, I wander around quite a bit and look at stuff. The quaternary all seems to be there. Which is nice and handy. Got an abandoned platform here on the way into Godley. Little town. That AWS warning I got was for a speed limit, I believe. So we come into Godley, which is a very short one. And I may have left that just a little late. I'd love to say I've driven this route thousands of times, but I've only driven it hundreds of times. So I do mess them up sometimes, like that. As they say in the classics, you should stay in step 3 while your doors are open, but the game doesn't really worry that much. You can go and have a look at Godfrey if you want. There's not a lot to see though. We might do it this way. Just do it with the 8 key. There's a collectible there. Lady. Poster. Other people here? No, sometimes there's people down there. You can come all the way down here. I don't know how far we'll get because we're on the 8 key, and down into the subway. You can go that way and go back up to the other platform. We should go back to our train, I think. Be a good idea. It's almost time. Another route map. Let's start closing the doors now. That train guy notices, anyone know what plugins you need to reskin for Train Sim Classic? You probably need something like 3D Max or the like to do reskins, because you'll have to do a bit of a 3D modelling. Now there are some signals on the line that show yellow always, and having asked and checked, it is prototypical. They actually always do. There's a few of them. The bridge, we pop out for a quick look. And we should be stopping for Mr. Hyde. I was kind of sad that there's no Jekyll platform, there's only a Hyde platform. There's a poster I haven't collected. What is going on? Alright, it's an excuse to go look, isn't it? We don't have time though, really. Do we have time? Yeah, we got time. We'll just leave it beeping annoyingly. Let's go get the poster. Come on, get out of the way. Got it. Back in the train. Beep, beep, beep. You should shut this door. You can click on the door, or you can... door's closed. Or you can use the buttons. Either way. I will show you guard mode after we finish this run into Manchester Piccadilly. We'll do the first stop with guard mode and the first round of checking the tickets. And then I think we'll do some freight. I'm going to run one that British Ace recommended to me. If you don't know British Ace, he's probably got some premieres of this going on right now. So the ambassadors will be pushing stuff out, but most of them work, so I think I'm the only one streaming it right now. Larry Field, let's exercise the emergency brake again, because I wasn't paying enough attention. Again. Driven it too many times, can you tell? Do you reckon we're actually going to be in the platform? Oh, I'm not sure. Might have to go back. Oh dear. Look at that. Look at that. Those of you who know the command, feel free to use it. Right, that train going. Set my lights on this one. Oh, it's naughty. Did not set my lights properly when I changed ends. Because he's not the Messiah, he's just a very naughty boy. Hello, Bradley. How are you? I quite like it. Let's stop there. We've got a door in the platform. Forward. And just because you're all being really kind, I will stir myself. Because guess what that was? It's nearly enough time to go. Off we go. Guide Bridge. This is the one where there's a little bit of a break between stations. And one of the opportunities to see other trains coming up. Don't know if we will, but we may. We'll see. There's 2 trains per hour in the timetable, but you do see a few more than that. Sometimes see other trains here. Sometimes you get held up by them. Should do a yard move too, shouldn't we? Out of Manchester. Just thinking about that. Guide Bridge coming up next. Slowing down for the 40. Time for the green. Like on Birmingham, you don't have a long time to acknowledge adverse signals, so whack that button quickly. I'd break my record and actually stop at Guide Bridge. There's a shed sitting over there, idling away to itself. do like the static and semi-static trains that just sit around here and there. It's good to see. Haven't got long to wait here, so we'll do a quick look outside using the 8 key. You can go up and down the stairs and up and over that overpass. Visitor shed. Some of the stations you can go for a bit of a wander outside. Hello, Drive. How are you doing? It's time, no, it's not time to shut doors yet. Look a little bit longer. One on the other end? No. The lights are on this end. What are the lights doing on this end? Nothing. Pretend you just arrived and stapled it, huh? That looks like it's a little bit not quite right, really. Right. People waiting for you. You should get on the train. It's not as though you're going to get another one. That's vigilance. I'll just pop back up in here and cancel that before it puts my brakes on. I have got a tutorial refresher for the 323 for people who either don't have Birmingham or who have forgotten how to drive it. So that should be live by now. Off we go. Ashbury's next. Some of the AIs disappear off this way. This tunnel's quite interesting, or this bridge, with the way the gantries are set up inside. Goes another 323. This thing holds its speed quite nicely on hills. It doesn't tend to run away too much. If you're ever popping in your door key and you accidentally press aux off, which I've done a few times, just wait a moment, press aux on, and then put your pantograph up. So pan up reset, the green one. It's a bit easy to do. They're quite close together, the hotspots for the two. Time for the green, halfway to Ashbury's. Angle. Oh, get out of the grass. There we go. Oh, come on. Out of the grass. That's better. Whatever reason I was thinking I have to stop here, but of course I don't, do I? No. Here the railway's up quite high. Surrounding area is a bit lower. Ooh. DB cargo coal going past by the looks of it. So even though it's a short route, there is quite the variety of services to play. And I kind of look forward to the reskinning action that people will get into. AWS for the 40 warning sign there. So what are people thinking so far? Liking what you see? Are you spotting anything that you don't like? There's another poster I haven't collected. Oops, it's an early stopper, this one. There's a few early stop ones. Morning. How you doing? What's that poster? I saw a poster I haven't got somewhere. Come on. No, that's not collectible. Oh well. Back in the cab. Don't you wish you could do that in consoles? It's nearly time. Just to show you where we are from a route perspective, we have come from all the way down there at the triangle and we're nearing the end. It's me sailing through a station. That train guy. Off we go to Manchester Piccadilly, where we'll get to go through the platform that no one uses. We'll have a quick look at it. Should we confuse people and stop there? Could. Sun's come out again. Good to see. Nice way to finish. In fact, it's kind of important the sun came out again because Manchester's really cool, and if it was dark, it wouldn't look as cool. You'll understand why when you see it shortly. We're coming into the more built-up area now. There's a yard over here to the right. You can see a 37 and a couple of blood red carriages and another 37. It's just curious things like that just sitting around the place. Now this is the station that no trains stop at. So what are we going to do? You guessed it. We're going to stop. I want to see if anyone gets off. It'd be funny. I see a collectible flower pot. There's a good reason to stop here. Alright. Because you'll never actually do anything with this, let's go and... Oops, just put that off so it doesn't beep at us forever. Just have a quick run around. We'll go and get this flower pot. Oh.
Please remain behind the yellow line at all times.
Of course. I didn't open the doors, did I? So no one's going to get off. Be interesting to see if anyone does. Doesn't look like it. Oh well. But anyway. What was that I saw? Another Northern. Let's get this door closed. Then we'll have to close our other doors. I hear something else. Here. What have we missed? What's that one? Let's go look. Down to 323. Alright. Back into forward. This door's closed that we opened. Done enough annoying the dispatcher. Looking at the station that we're not supposed to stop at. So off we go. If anyone finds the one train that stops here, let me know, because I want to play it. I haven't been able to find it. I'm told there's one. to the somewhat busy Manchester Piccadilly. Passengers riding on this northern service today, the next stop is our last stop. Get off or go back. It's really up to you. Train guy likes blood and custard liveries. Another Northern 323. Platform 2 awaits us. We'll have a little wander around Piccadilly, and then we'll run the first part of the guard scenario. And then I think we should, maybe we run a depot service after that, just so we get to see the yard. Either one from Manchester to the depot, or the depot to Manchester, one or the other. And then we'll do some freight. Now the reason I say Manchester's cool is because of all the shadows. So after I stop this, we'll return to free roam briefly. A little fly around. How'd we do? You're nicking off that train guy. Silver medal. It's probably all those run-throughs. Anyway, let's just finish turning this one off. So you can see the shadows from the overhead. Really cool. There is a cat in here somewhere that appears and disappears from time to time, so if you find the cat, good on you. There is a route map in here somewhere. I haven't found it yet, but I'm told there's one. What's that? That's not big enough. So this is Manchester. There are escalators. These don't go anywhere. So if you go up here, all you can do is cut through there and go back down again. Be nice if they went somewhere. And then there's this section, which goes through onto the outside platforms. The elevators unfortunately don't work. We have another northern service out here. We could jump in this and ride for a little while. This one's going to Liverpool Lime Street, and you'll notice it's going off the route rather quickly. Pretty much straight away, in fact. So if we jumped in this, we wouldn't get very far. But as you can tell, we're not terribly far from Edge Hill. So it puts it in context of the other routes. Alright, let's pop out of this train and go back to the main menu. Leave that one to the dispatcher's joy. The station does look good. I quite like it. Back into Glossop again, and scenarios. Let's run the first station and first ticket checking for guard. So this is something that Dovetail really want feedback for. So bomb the forums. Go and tell them, do you like this or not? Now, I personally like it. It's something that a lot of people have been asking for a really long time. We've had a few trains now, particularly trains from Rivet, that have had a pseudo guards mode where you could kind of run the train as a guard. You can kind of run this one as a guard if you try hard enough. But you can't stop the AI, so if you don't close the doors in time, the AI will do it for you. Now, it's only a short scenario, but it's a bit hectic. the rear cab. Key in. It'll want me to do this in a moment, so I'll do it now. Your duties as guard include operating the doors of the train, checking passenger tickets, and keeping passengers safe on their journey. Now, I'm just going to turn on the stop markers so that I can see what's going on. So we stand on the platform and watch. We can start preparing for the departure once the doors are closed. Now we just stand out here and wait. What's making all that noise? It's a freight train. An empty one. I missed what was leading it though. We're now ready! Okay, jump in. And we want to close their doors, which is round here. Blue. And we go back out and we watch. Stand out here again. I've gotten in front of the scenario, haven't I? Close the cab door. Bottom button. And then buzz our mate up the front. Have to buzz them twice, and they buzz back. Now we have to go and check tickets. So you take your key out. Come in here. Now, have we got any? Let's go look. Let's just wait until it finishes that. So we find them. We do need to turn on the markers. Hello, so it's today, the 30th of October, that's fine, and we're going from Guidebridge to Ashbury's, very good. And there's one down here, there's a couple down here in fact. Is this lady? Hello, show us your ticket. Oh yeah, you look good, Gorton, Ashbury's, yeah, fine, no problem. You get points depending on whether you get that right or not. No one else in this carriage. I'm a lazy bugger, I just leave the doors open everywhere. Here we are. Oh no, it's you, isn't it? Manchester, Guidebridge to Manchester on the 21st of October. Mate, get off me train. Go on, do it now. Don't worry about it waiting for it to stop. Go and get this one before the next station, because I can hear it is actually slowing down. 30th of October, Guidebridge to Ardwick. We are all good. Thank you. Alright, I think that's everybody. Let's go say hello to our mate. G'day mate, how you doing? Nice northern shirt you got on there. Where do I get mine? A little bit of a hole in your collar though. Yeah, you're bleeding through a little bit mate. Oh well, must be the ponytail. Back we go. So we're ready to open the doors when it comes back. Come on, come on. There we go. Oh, and the toilets work of course. Ha, Justin, you know they don't. We all wish they did. One day, our mate Matt will give up and he will let us have working toilets. Now, don't sit in the driver's seat, you'll end up owning the train, but you can sit in the second man's seat. You can have your little rest break while you're waiting for the next stop. Which we can hear it slowing down, so it's not far away. Get up and pretend we've been up and looking observantly the whole time. Get ready to open the door, hoping it's on the left-hand side. Is it though? Not all of them are. Side, good. Train Sim World, how are you? Welcome. Which one have we got? An Alex? Or a JD? Or a Yarn? Looks kinda safe out here, so let's let people in. Come out here and watch them. We watch the usual Train Sim World passenger antics as they do their weird and wonderful things. And we'll leave the guard scenario here, so we'll close this up and send it on its way, because I don't want to ruin all the fun for you, and we'll jump into a freight. Hello Alex, I am quite enjoying it. Let's close their doors. That one. Watch the yellow lights go off. So they won't till yours closes. There you go. Tricky. And buzz. Alright, we'll take this door key out. We will leave on guard here. You've got more tickets to check naturally enough, but I don't want to ruin all the surprises for you, so let's pop back to the main menu and let's take out a freight. Now, British Ace recommended one to me, so we're going to give it a try. Give it a cry. Strange person. Timetable, and we want a class 66, big red shed. Let's take a southeastern high-speed 66, why not? And we'll go for 6863. Small heat to Hindlow. And he suggested doing it in... He was actually quite specific. He said the 21st of June with a clear sky. So we'll do that. Indeed, Train Sim World, highly appreciative of it. This thing starts waking itself up. Reverse the handle. Go forwards. I should use the rail driver for this though, really. This thing's going to jump in a moment, which is fine. Can you turn on the radio on this one? Probably. Parking brake is released, I think, which is good. There's AWS on the 66. There's some stuff to turn on here. Headlights, we want daytime. Don't want tail lights. We do want instrument lights. We don't want cab lights. I think the AWS is in the other end, isn't it? We're going to go down there and turn on AWS. Start. Stop here. Maybe I'm dreaming thinking it's at this end. It's been a while since I've been in a 66. It's definitely got it. Hello, Bradley. Let me turn it on the panel. It's been too long since I've driven a 66. What I should have done is gone, hey Joe, teach me how to drive it again. Maybe I should watch my own tutorial. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Got one for the 66. Back in the chair. Sorry for making you motion sick. I know what we got to do. We got to turn the brakes on, don't we? Information, traction, cutout, brake, cutout. So we want that. Now are the brakes already cut in? Brakes are cut out. So brakes cut in and cut out. So the brakes are cut in already, so that's fine. Don't need to do anything there. Anyone remember how to turn on AWS in this? Because I'm a bit flummoxed. I can't see a thing anywhere unless it's in here. That's possible. It's on. What about this panel? I notice it's got the standard 66 noise cutting in and cutting out. There it is. Look at that. I knew it was only in one end, and it was in the end I was in. All good. Back in the chair now. If I can get there. There we go. Alright, are we allowed to go yet? That would appear to be. Oh no, there's a shunting signal. Is that actually on? I think it is. I think there's two little white lights there. So we start releasing all our brakes. No, that's no little white lights on. Just slowly go because we'll assume the signal will clear when this guy goes through. Now Joe tells me this train's quite hard to start because it's a bit heavy. So it's he's not kidding. for an English train, 1,700 tonnes, nearly 1,800 tonnes. That is pretty heavy. 1,800 tonnes with one locomotive. So I think a bit of sand might be in order. There we go, there's our green signal, just in time. Thank you, Florian. To a super quick start here. Their load of aggregates. Don't want to go too hard out of the gate or we'll break our couplers. Because of course they're not big meaty knuckle couplers. They're little things. One's only going to Hyde North. So we'll get this thing on its way. We'll do this run to the end. It's not a very long one. And then we'll do a depot service, I think. And if there's anywhere you'd like me to go and have a look at, sing out. Happy to do it. And I'll stream this again on Sunday as well, this coming Sunday. Is me over anticipating the speed going, yeah, it's a short train. I'm used to the 323. So we have a divert off to the left up here. Let's keep cruising along for the moment. Can't speed up too much because we did get warned about a diversion up here. The one thing I would like is to have more freights that run end to end. It doesn't make that much sense for them to go all the way down there though, because well, they've only got to turn around and come back, don't they? It'd be cool if the rail tours ran all the way to the end, but they don't. Tried to start this train in the snow, that'd be fun. See a bunch of trains sitting off here in the yard in the maintenance facility. Back in the station that no one stops at. Beans. So of course you get all these extra layers if you own the DLCs that come with those layers. So if you don't have any of the other DLCs that generate layers for this thing, which is a lot of the English DLCs, we ran through them at the start, so scrub back and have a look if you're not sure which ones they are. I've also got an explanatory video up, which should be live now, which also tells you about it. I've got a route introduction, which is about 20 odd minutes, which takes you through what I think all the important bits are. I did miss out that yard. Yeah, just saying, that one over there. Or is it over there? It's over there when you're watching. Because I come out backwards, don't I? Yeah, I do. I should fix that so I come out the right way round. It's not a mirror. You know you've got a good train when you're going flat stick in a 2,500 horsepower locomotive and you're not speeding up. Everybody's getting a appearance of what it's like on a normal PC, since it's not my normal one. Wish me luck with my return process with Intel. Sad thing was, I thought it was the motherboard, because I did a process of elimination. I thought, well, it's down to the CPU and the motherboard. Motherboard's cheaper, I'll buy a motherboard. So I can check it, and guess what? 50-50 game. Got it wrong. It was the CPU. And then to make matters worse, I broke one of the RAM slots on the new board. A Picard moment. It's an interesting little factory over here. Makes lots of noise, this factory. Sounds like this one's got a loose fan belt. Bad pulley. Should go see the mechanic. There's something I really wish Transcend World would fix. The shadowy things that appear in the middle. See some people wandering around these houses. You've got someone with their washing out. What's out? Nothing exciting. The Hyde North. There's a bit of abandoned trackage over here, which has trucks driving on it. You'll see that in some of the other scenarios, but I won't ruin the fun. '66 is working hard. Log. Even when you're riding in places like this, there's just enough in your eye line that you can see things. And if you pop up a bit higher, it doesn't just end straight away, it goes on for a little while, which I like to see. We've had a lot of routes where it just ends right next to the track, so when you're at flight height like this, it makes it rather obvious. Bradley says shame the overhead line equipment isn't as good as the previous TSW3 releases. What are you seeing that makes it not as good? Or what are you not seeing? Happy to put feedback back by the Ambassador channel. Dawn light coming through. miles to our stopping spot. It's a little bit unrealistic that the freights just stop mid-route, but the only way, the other way to do it would be to have you drive out of the playable area, and then you'd never finish your scenarios. So this way at least you can pretend it's a driver change or something like that. And I'm quite appreciative that the freight went in for those moments that you feel like driving something other than a commuter train. And I look forward to seeing people's speed runs. How fast can you do the route? I'm tipping to be quite quick. I can tell you how long it takes to put an ICE3 down here, but let's just say stopping at the other end was a bit exciting. We're coming off the hill just in time to stop. 66 having a relief brake there. Ponzi horn on this big locomotive, isn't it? No LZB. So it's one of the things I think it'd be cool if the freight started and stopped here. I think there's RHTTs that do. It's good to see trains sitting in there. A little bit of brakes and start bringing it down. I think I remember rightly this thing doesn't have dynamics. Yeah, it doesn't. Seems like one of those interesting things. You go to all the trouble of buying an American locomotive that would by default have dynamic brakes, and you go, you know what? Don't worry about dynamic brakes. This is England. We don't have any hills. Leaky bank, anyone? Pretty sunflower. Just realised why Joe was so intent on running this, particularly on June 21st, the longest day of the year. So it's actually light. There goes the chippy monster over behind me again. I assume that's coming through. New graffiti, that one. I think we should go find ourselves a yard service next. Does that sound good to people? We're not going to give this some power, we're not getting up this hill. Try that again, and then we're dropping some sand. Going a bit better. Sand's helping. We are most certainly in the red on the power meter. You're not supposed to stay in the red for very long. But what are you going to do? We've got to get up the hill. Slowed down a little early. The old thing it is. Heading off to our right shortly. We're driving the signalman utterly bananas at the moment. Going, blocking, that's what moves us down to the way. I think this only goes to here. Yeah, it does. Great. Now we're actually coming off the Glossop line here. And I think it's not all that far. Yeah, it's not far to the portal. You like. So there's the catch points. And where do they go? So we go follow the catch points. Train comes off, train goes through here, crashes through this fence, goes down here, goes down the embankment, goes through that big tree, goes through that tree, and goes into this house. Perfect. That's exactly what you want. On our railway we call the catch points the mousetrap. We are all deadly fearful of them. Because no one wants to explain what your steam engine's doing in the dirt. Especially at that point there, because it's not safe to jack them up because it's on such a steep slope. So they have no choice but to go and get in a couple of massive cranes. Ah, I see collectibles. Does anybody else see collectibles? I do. I think we might have to return to free roam and come and get these collectibles. And we can watch the train leave too. If we got really clever, we could sit in it and watch it go. This for the next person. Race up here and try and get these collectibles before that finishes. Power pot. Oh, so close. Alrighty. I don't really care what I got for it. Return to free roam. No. Because we want to see the freight train leave, don't we? Shortly. Funny that this station's built for a station that no one gets on or off at on the route. Stuff. Looks like everything that's here, unless there's something hiding around here. You guy, who's not even there, hasn't figured out AWS is on. Well, there's a little bug. So the AWS has applied the emergency brakes by the look of it, and there's no driver. Uh-oh. Should be doing him a favour. I don't know if we'll be able to. Come on. No, won't be able to. Sounds like the AWS has put the brakes on too, and he's just powering through it. That's alright. Let's come over here and do a wheel check for him. Our invisible man driver. There's one bug to report. Hello, Lexic Dark. Yes, Gunzo. What's wrong with that? Is there another station to get to that'll have a train soon, or should I just go back to the menu? Go back to the menu, let's find a depot service. Geez, Nightbot's a bit slow today. Alright, to the trains, choose a route, Glossop. Now we want a 323 on a put away. Ardwick TMD to Hadfield. That's the yard at the back, so we could do that. Or we could do Manchester Piccadilly to Ardwick TMD. That makes sense. Let's do that then. Yeah, put a train away. Any passengers on board anymore. Let's go and check, make sure we don't... Oh, what are you guys doing in here? Get off. Getting off, or are they coming to the yard? No, I'm tipping they're coming to the yard with us. That's okay. Wait for a moment. Oh well, we tried to get rid of them. But they don't want to. So we're going to take them all to the yard. Like every good driver would. Actually, while we're here, let me show you something. If you accidentally turn the train off, so if you're trying to put your key in, for example, and you press the aux button, put your reverser to off, press aux on to wake the train up, give it a little while to boot up, because right now your pantograph should be down, it is, and then we do pan reset, and we should see it go up. We should, hang on, we should see it go up. Forgot you have to put it back in on first. What haven't I done? I've broken it. Did I have to put it on when I pressed aux on, maybe? I've broken it. I've done this so many times and it's worked every time. Not this time, clearly. You into to notch 3. And up. Sad now. Let's try it again. See, I shouldn't have done it, should I? Tempted fate. Did something silly. There we go. That's what it's meant to do. I made the mistake of turning it off. You're not supposed to turn it off. So we are supposed to get out of here anyway. So let's go. We do have a red signal up there, so we'll just crawl up there. We've got a train full of people who are coming out to a yard. And that's okay. Yellow signal, off we go. Double yellow, in fact. Why have one yellow when you can have two? Going by the most bizarre route to Ardwick Yard. I'm sure Ardwick Yard's off on the left. That's okay. Bizarre is good. Change the second I stop. The 323, and what's that I see coming in the distance over there? Another 323. Such a long service going to Ardwick Yard, which I'm pretty sure is really close. Hello, Rail Label, how are you? Welcome. We're just waiting to go to Ardwick Yard. What are we waiting on? Go down there. Points set. That one is. Stopping us. I don't see why we can't go around there. Oh, maybe we're waiting for this guy. That's possible. Because we do have to... Yeah, we have to cross his path, so... He's probably been given precedence, I think. That's okay. We're an empty cars move. We've got all day. Quite you. This is the only train I know where the vigilance goes off when you're standing still with the brakes on, but apparently that's real. No, I haven't seen you in a little while, Rail Label. It's good to have you back. It's probably because the times just don't work that well for you, I imagine, so this is probably a little helpful. Although it is during the day, it's on a Monday morning, on a UK morning. At least it's evening for me. How's our friend going? Is he here yet? Let's have a look. Oh, here he comes. Yes, we have to cross his path, so... Now, if we'd been routed down the left track, which is where I would have thought we'd go, it would have been okay anyway. Getting our train in anticipation and the signal going green, or at least yellow. There it goes. Oh yes, DRA. That'd be a good thing to turn off, wouldn't it? Dutifully set the DRA and just as dutifully forgot to turn it off. For some funny reason, we're not going to go hooping up to 45 miles an hour. Because we have to be doing about 20 or so to go through these points. 20 or 25, one or the other. He's off to the yard. What would people like to see next? We have a shunting signal on that one. You can see the two white lights just underneath the red there. You can call it a shunting signal or a calling on. There are other names for them as well. I don't think the UK call them calling ons though. We still use that term in Australia. Things have been at midnight for you. That's a bit sad. It's worth me doing them a bit earlier on a Sunday morning, but do I really want to get up earlier on a Sunday morning? That's the question. Because to be meaningful, I'd have to start them at 6:30, wouldn't I? So that was about 10 for you guys. Outside. Look at that, passengers. Where do you think you're going? You're just riding through the yard. You know we're just going to leave you here. So they're all sitting in their seats going, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Why aren't we going to Glossop? Vigilance. Well, Level says I never get up early on a Sunday morning. Well, I kind of have to for streaming, but I'm usually awake at 6:30 anyway. It's just a habit. And it's a helpful habit because it means the days that I'm getting up at 4:45 to go and light a steam engine aren't quite as bad. This service has another part to it, but I'm sure it'll just be shunting back into the yard, so we won't do that one. Unless you want to see a change ends, because I suspect we'll have to for the other service. Because this one just stops here. And there's a different one to take it the other way. We're actually going to stop on the points, aren't we? Oh, we are. How naughty. Never stop fouling points. It's just mean. Alrighty. So I'm just going to assume that this is a reversing move, which is why it's like this. So I will come back here and we will shut this down as though we are going to run it up to the other end, and we'll run up to the other end and see if the service works out for us. Now what I should do is just check on the map. Yeah, we're running back. So let's just jump out and go and visit all our passengers who shouldn't be here. Hello! Sucks to be you. Sucks to be you. You're going to have to walk back. Yeah, we're parking up here. Sorry, you know. Bad day for you. Should have gotten off when you were told to. Don't know why you got on at Manchester. I mean, where else was it going to go? Can't check the dunny. So normally you'd walk through your train at the end of the day and just make sure there's no one in it. Imagine being a driver, you hop out and you find this, and you're going, oh dear. Because you'd be on the phone to the signaller going, mate, you either need to route me back into the station, or we need to get some buses out here. I didn't turn off AWS at the other end then, so it shouldn't bite us though. Let's just quickly check our points, because they have not changed, because they're all manuals. That one's fine, that one's fine, that one's fine, that one's fine. Alright, oh, hang on, is it? Is it fine? Is it really? No. It's not. But that one. It'd be an interesting conversation with the signalman, wouldn't it? Abel asks, why are there never toilets in Train Sim World 3 trains? Well, that's a very good question. Very good question indeed. If I picked the right one, I have. People ask Matt that a lot. Why aren't there toilets? And there's never really been a great answer. I think it would be fine. It's just a toilet. There's nothing ugly or bad about a toilet. We have to go back to finish shutting this down, as you do. Step 3 we did. See you later. Enjoy the night. I'll leave the train powered up for you so you stay warm. No, wait. I'll have fun. Bye. See you later. Bye now. Fun up there. Enjoy yourselves. This train goes back into service at about 3 PM. So have fun up there. Bye. Alright, what about an RHTT? Rail Label says, hasn't TSW3 been sold to some French company? The whole company has been bought by, what are they called? Focus Entertainment. So yes, not just TSW3, but Dovetail. Let's do an RHTT. Why not? Actually, you know what we should do? Because we haven't seen one yet, we're going to run a 158. We're going to run the only 158 service there is. And you'll see why you can't do the others and they're all AI. Mark B says it may be contractual. The train operators don't want to embarrass. I doubt they care. They've got toilets on their trains. Ah, yeah, it's this thing. Control. So, that's forwards. Day headlight. Can't go anywhere yet, but we can test the horn. It works. See? So where are we in this service? Oh, excuse me. No, we're sitting off there. Explains why we don't get to take it very far. I'm just going to run into here. To Manchester. DRH. DRL. Must have already done that. Wait for that signal to clear. There we go. DRL off. Brakes. That would be really helpful. It's not a combined power handle. Can we turn GSMR on these? We can. Our little diesel train. Dark asks, is there a ban on streaming in the toilets? Well, I know someone who does stream in the toilets, and she's been known to go live in a toilet. She loves trains. She doesn't do anything weird, she just sits in the toilet and talks to people. She's interviewed people in the toilet. I don't see a problem with it. Railable says that they are a little disappointed that the free route was a French TGV duplex route. The route is extremely complicated. Prefer Nidlertaban. Yes, I still don't have it. Message is quite okay, Railable. I don't mind you saying things like that. That's fine. It's what you feel. It's fine. When people express issues politely, I have no problem with it at all. There were a few people who said that they would have liked a choice of any free route. So you're not alone in that thought. I already had TGV and I actually don't like it, so... Our way into Manchester now, in little 158 diesel multiple unit. This one's a DMU, 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 DMU. There you go. Oh, the message was quite understandable, Railable. I wouldn't be worried about that at all. You should see some of the stuff I write sometimes. I read it back and I go, it's not even a sentence. See if we have people in here. What do we do? Coming into those outer platforms at Manchester. Nidlertaban never been on sale. Oh, it'll get its time. It'll have its moment. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just keep an eye out for it. Let's just quickly jump up. Have we got people? No. Does PIS work in here? There's an interesting thing. I don't know. Never looked. This is. Next station is. Not too working too well on this service, that's for sure. Wait until 5:36. Well, I reckon it's going to get taken off me anyway. So I might just get up and wander off. As you do. I'll just leave it running. As you do. That side? That must be this side. Going to get someone else in it? That's the question. Wait for a moment. Waiting for. Does anyone know? I want to get my score. Let's wander around Manchester while we wait. Should we go back and watch it leave? So I assume it'll go somewhere. It's trying to leave, it's trying to leave. Just open. Yes, made it. Come on, let me in the train, let me in. Made it. Because it's going to go somewhere. Checks toilet. No. Where's it going to go? That's the question. What's going to happen when we get kicked out of the route? Yeah. There we go. So you're about to find out what happens when you reach the end of the playable area. I always like doing silly things like this. That's why I'm a beta tester. I do dumb stuff. There is not a pacer at this time, but I believe it's fairly popular, so I wouldn't be that surprised if at some point in time we do get one. Because it's quite a popular train. Train. The playable area very soon. Get kicked out. Then I could show you something funny, but I won't. Could probably get in trouble. I could tell you that once you're carried outside the playable area, there's a way to stay out of it. Peacefully sitting here enjoying our early morning coffee. Has the 158 got a guard panel? That's a good question. I don't think so. But the 323 definitely does. There we go, we're outside the playable area now, as you can see by the distinct lack of scenic stuff underneath the tracks. And the fact that the buildings are just sort of a bit weird. And there we go, our train has left the playable area. And we're still here, but we can't go anywhere. By the looks of things, no, we're stuck. So, there you go. That's how you get out of the playable area and you can explore. We can't explore because I'm stuck on something. But that's fine. Back to the menu. So you should do silly things like that. So let's go and have a look at the guard panel just for rail label. So we'll go and have another look at a 323 and then we'll do... You guys can choose. I'll put up a little poll. 20 or RHTT. 20 RHTT. So we'll just jump back in here and show rail label the guard panel. This one will be out tomorrow, yes. A lot of people want to see the RHTT. So we'll just quickly run back here. Actually, let me just sit down. Because if I don't start the train, I have a faint suspicion the guide panel won't work. So if you come into the middle carriages of the set rail label, you will get to... Is it this one? No, must be further down here. This one. There we go. We have got guard panel, which you can open and key in, and you can release your local door. Stick your head out and go, yeah, it all looks pretty good, but of course all the passengers start piling out because, you know, they're polite people. Then you release the other doors, and all the people that walk down to your door go, oh, the others are open now. And you watch them all getting on and off. You do your thing. So you could use guard this way when you're driving the train, race down here and use this to open and close the doors. If you try and do it as the AI, you have to beat the AI into doing it. So we will close the doors. I can't remember if it closes all of them or if it just closes the others. There we go, it's closed the others. And then we close our door. Hello, Anarchist Angel, how are you? The route is Manchester, Hadfield and Glossop. There you go. There's your guard panel. So let's go and run the RHTT now, because everybody seems to want to do that. Well, not everybody. We've got 57% want to do it. That's good enough. We might look at the 20 as well. Why not? Let's go do a RHTT, which means I will need to go into class 37, isn't it? I think. I want the Tees Valley line though, I want the other one. Oh no, it's 66s run the RHTT, and I'll have to go for January, and let's make it a point. There's snow, so this is worth doing. And we want an RHTT. Can't type. But no RHTTs in January? That would seem weird. Oh, let's go on to February. March. What weird month are they on? I don't see one. It is a 66 that pulls the RHTT, isn't it? Why am I not seeing any? We're almost getting into summer. Now we're in summer. I wonder if it only matters if you choose the first time. Let's go back out here. Go back in here and go... February. Actually, let's go to December. Minus 3.5. So if we're going to get RHTTs, it would be December. I know I've seen them. I'm confused now. I'm very confused. Why can't I see them? Don't think it's the 37. You think on the middle panel? Am I just being a dong? So you can't select anything on the middle panel. Because you should see RHTT in the name on here. Oh, there we go. Oh, but they usually say RHTT. Thank you. Well done, Devon. Very helpful of you. I should probably have known about that. Just saying. Ooh, it's a dark RHTT. Lovely. Let's get the reverser in. Turn that on. Not that we need it. Bit of lighting. What else do we need on these things? Do we need to cut the brakes in, or are they already cut in? Brakes are cut in, so that's fine. Want night headlights. Don't want tail lights. Do want instrument lights. And now I've got to try and remember how to turn this thing on. So we turn the controller on, and then there's an activate the controller. Start. Oh, we've got a blue light. That's a start. Turn on the sandite things. And water. I think I might have remembered how to use it. And we've still got a red light. And by now we're probably spewing sandite and stuff everywhere. Why am I stuck behind a wall? I am stuck behind a wall. Let's try it this way. There we go. So we should be spewing out crap on the ground. I can hear it. I don't see it. Oh, there we go. There's one. Goodo then. And we're allowed to go, so let's go. Brakes off. Brakes off a bit more. Oops. Help forwards. Off we go. Or something I'm not really given. So we'll just quickly stop this. Right in the middle of everything. You know, really annoy the signalman. Because I need to go fix something. Because it bugs me. Still pissing sandite everywhere too. Door. I want to close the door. Alright, I'll do it the hard way. Door. Crashed into a sign, won't worry about that. Right, this door. Come in here and put on our tail lights. Now we should have no tail lights. Okay. But at least we don't have... Oh, the tail lights are on there. Oh. I'm just silly. I could have done this using the Control Plus and that, couldn't I? So turn the tail lights off here. Because I just told to put tail lights on at this end. Now we go and put the tail lights on up here and it'll be fine. Tail lights. I'm so confident that it'll be perfect that I'm not even going to look. No, I don't want to give it up. I lie. I'm going to go look. Yay! Red lights! Okay. Just wash your boots in that stuff. All through that, Anarchist Angel sitting there telling me the right thing to do, because she knows I'm a donkey. And is quite correct in that I am doing an excellent job of being a donkey. Can I sit in the chair maybe? Come on, thank you. Alright. Brakes off a bit more, and away we go. Catching up with chat. Anarchist Angel says, could be better, could be worse. PTSD kicking in today, that's no good. Honestly excited for this route though, can't afford it until next month, but really looking forward to more 323 action. It does seem to be popular, the 323. People do seem to like it. Let's just turn off our cab lights. You're going to see a lot. Maybe that's why its headlights are on, so you can see the Sandite stuff going out. It could be method to the madness of putting the headlights on, I suppose. But I don't like it. In the words of Pauline Pantsdown, I don't like it. Those of you who aren't Aussies won't know who she is. Cat's Eye, hello, welcome. Recently started playing some TSW3 last week and discovered your channel while looking at different DLCs and been non-stop. Very cool. So, welcome along. I hope you're enjoying it. I kind of enjoy showing them off. So, yeah. There's no snow. They're running a railhead treatment train this now. Oh, yeah, I suppose railhead treatment train would really run in autumn, wouldn't they? That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense, because you're blowing your leaves off the track. It's very cold, but we have no snow. That's okay. Blue Dog Slim, what time Australia for the DLC? If you are on Steam, it will be about 3 AM on Wednesday morning. If you are on PlayStation or Xbox, it will be 7 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. Sadly, they get it first. I think Epic might be at midnight, if I remember correctly. Doing price conversions, I'm expecting mid to high 30s for this one, just based on the conversion of the euro price. See a rail label. Anarchist Angel says, I hope they didn't mess up the scoring again. No, it seems okay. And yep, all turned on. And Anarchist Angel says, yeah, the main purpose is to get rid of leaves that form an extremely slippery mush on the railheads. Much worse than ice. Yeah, we certainly experience it on our railway. We usually just pour sand all over them. Getting up the hill into Gembrook in winter or autumn for us is a bit of a bugger, to be honest. One of the trips I did recently, I don't think we got over 5 mile an hour. Going up the hill, it's just chuff, 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 chuff. Much slipping. Every time the driver tried to give it more power, he would slip like crazy and suck my fire out of the funnel, so I have to build it all up again. It was a difficult day. Right in. Nice if the 66's sound issues were fixed one day. They sound really good when they sound good, but the pauses in the sound are a bit annoying. People in stations get wet. I was quietly impressed with myself that I remembered how to turn on the Sandite stuff, by the way. It's not the least complex procedure in the world. This train is clearly much lighter than the aggregate train that we had before. Running passenger brakes, should be running freight brakes. My own length in there, okay. Thought it counted your length, but no. See, I'm breaking the golden rules and streaming at night service. But at least its headlights are pretty good. Showing up nicely on video. Anarchist Angel says, wishes that in TSW3, but probably never will, the Deutsche Reichsbahn HO2, a high-pressure steam loco that deserves its name with a steam pressure of 120 bar, 1740 psi. That's huge! That is absolutely huge. I'll have to look that thing up. Just going to copy that text out of the chat because I want to go and Google that. Looking at it now. Will I come back in and drive my train for a bit? That must have been an amazing pressure vessel. — 2,500 horsepower. That is quite the loco, isn't it? There you go, I've just popped a link into the Wikipedia article for it. So people can have a read. Things when I do that. I don't think it does it? No. Alright, I'm not quite set up properly yet. I lost everything. I reinstalled Windows thinking it was a bad Windows and then got the same problem, so I changed motherboards and still had the same problem. Changed power supplies, changed SSDs, changed the RAM. Everything was going wrong. It all came down to the CPU. Am I being naughty and going too fast? Yes, I am. Naughty simulator driver. It is quite amazing, isn't it, Florian? 2,500 horsepower from a steam engine. That's huge. Just to put that into context, that's about the same tractive effort as, what, an SD40? Anarchist Angel says, certainly amazing in its own right, was considered pretty useless and was retired almost immediately because it was so complicated and unreliable. Well, that's a bit like our loco. We had an H class, which was designed to be the biggest and the best, and they were certainly massive, and they were only able to run, I think, on the Bendigo line, and even then they used to break bridges. And there's a whole one of them, and it still exists. It'll never move ever again. It's sitting on its graveyard track at the Newport Train Museum. Williamstown Train Museum. Newport, Williamstown. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Slowing down a bit early, but I keep thinking with Hadfield 1.7 miles away, surely we're close to Dinting. Yes, I know the Police 37 you're talking about. Setup I run now, I can't just drag other things in, unfortunately. Being naughty, Mr. Driver, you're going too quick. Yeah, I believe it was unique just for that HST advertisement. Even though it's a bit of a dangerous game, let me find it. Because some people may not know what we're talking about. There is a video for it. Looks like it. Hopefully there's nothing else in this because I'm not going to watch it. This looks like the right thing. Being very naughty indeed. It's a good thing we went straight back there, wasn't it? There were turbine steam locos, Lexic Dark. There were a few. There weren't any terribly successful ones, but there were a few. Union Pacific ran them in the US. And they had gas turbine as well, so they never gave up on the turbine idea, those guys. Brakes are released. Oh, you want them released more. That's okay. This just gives me an excuse to do this. Full bang. I'm going to put some sand on. .266 going, it accelerates like a bloody rocket. Oh really? I've been through the back wall at Hadfield by now. Now I have to start slowing down anyway, even though that was fun momentarily. Steam engine turbines I don't think ever really got past the experimental stage, but the gas turbine ones were in use and some of the loudest train locomotives ever. All our way into the last bit of Hadfield. What about a 323 run in the snow? Shall we do one of those? turbines are extremely efficient. It's kind of why they use them in power stations, because you can use the same steam. I think the biggest one I know about used the same steam 8 times. Which is quite an amazing feat, really. Take this back? No, we just finish here. I think that fixed cautions is a good thing, because the next signal can't be anything but red, so why waste money putting up a signal when you could just have a sign? There's a flower pot I haven't collected. What's going on with that? That'd be it for that service. Alrighty, let's find a let's find a service in the snow. Train depot. Oops, sorry. Choose route. I hate going the other way. 323, and we want December -9.4. Snowstorm or a light snow? I reckon snowstorm. Why not a snowstorm? That could be good. Everything's going to fill up then. And we should go a bit later in the day so we can actually see. So this is... and we've gone into Manchester twice. Let's come out of Manchester this time. Manchester to Hadfield via Glossop. That'll do fine. Let's jump on this one. Turbines are a big engineering thing. There we go. That was popular. 323 in the snow. Let's just close the poll because we're doing it. No snow in here. Pleased to say that. Very good. Wasn't actually sure about that. Get the doors open. Let's get our safety things running. Wait until 10:03. Huh. Let's just turn that off again then. Let's go for a walk. As you do. Nothing collectible on there. Have we been up here yet? The elevators don't work, unfortunately. We only got one route with working elevators, and then they went away again. Bit sad. I can hear a 66. Where is it? Oh, it's not a 66 I can hear. Look at that. It is. Get to the chopper. How cool. That must be coming from West Somerset. It's the only place they exist that I know of. I love its coupler. It's a bit stiff in the cold weather. Poorhouse! How are you? Welcome aboard. We're just going to run a 323 in the snow by popular request. Might have been because the only answer I gave him in the poll was yes, but that's okay. I do like those cool little things that we find from time to time. It's time to go, so let's just get this going and we will catch up with the chat. Alright. Off to Ashbury's. Poorhouse says, what's going on with all the recent short routes? I don't buy short routes, it's a waste of money. No, disagree, but you are welcome to have that feeling. I actually quite like the short ones. Because I like to, at the end of the workday or something like that, just pick up a 30-minute route and go, let's go play. But I do get that they're not everybody's thing. Anarchist Angel says it's unfortunate that DTG standard introduce a new feature and immediately drop it again. The TBH working elevators are very low on the priority list for me. They're kind of fun. And I kind of think once you've got them, they should be everywhere, but, you know, we'll see. How far is Manchester Piccadilly away from Manchester Victoria? I've never looked on a map. Let's do that while we're slowly crawling through here. Let's get directions from Manchester Piccadilly. Just have to come back briefly, and I want directions from Manchester Victoria. Victoria Station, Manchester, UK. It is about a mile. So not very far at all. Anarchist Angel says, really wish we'd get the reflective boards from Dresden Riesa again. Otherwise driving at night is chore without HUD. Yeah, they were kind of cool. I don't know why they went away. Maybe it was a performance issue. You do get the occasional one of those where there's... Oh, that's gone green. Tram stops, Simon. Yes, Manchester has trams. I worked on the ticketing system that runs in Manchester. The smart cards you've got there. Poorhouse says that's because you're streaming, lol. They make good routes to read the chat. Well, yeah, they do, but I like playing short routes too. And there are times when big, long freight routes come out, and I have to pretend to be excited about this 3-hour crawl down Sherman Hill or Cahoon Pass or something like that. Which I'm not very good at pretending it's exciting, I'm afraid, as you've probably noticed. But each to their own. I have sat there in Run 8 and done 12-hour shifts as well. On the Monster Network. Because you can. Yeah, you'll notice a lot of familiar station names if you go and stand on their outside platforms at Manchester and look where they're going. Things like Edge Hill and Liverpool Lime Street, they're all very close. So it's sort of a train concentration. Simon says to look up the Pick-Vic connection. That's just your tram route. Anarchist Angel disagrees with Poorhouse. Long and especially high-speed routes are ideal for reading the chat because you kick in LZB and AFB and you've got all the time in the world. That is very true. I'm supposed to stop here. Speaking of reading the chat. Sand, 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 more sand, more sand. Somehow I think I might get away with this and still have a carriage in the platform. I think this is going to work. Look at that. Where'd we end up? Let's get the doors open. It's not bad, you know. It's not bad at all. I'm impressed. I'm happy with that. Silly, I know, but, you know. There you go. It does slide in the snow. Simon says they were going to create a rail tunnel linking the lines from the north to the south. Should still do it. They've been talking about a north-south rail tunnel in Melbourne for about the last 50 years, and they're building it. It's almost finished. So it's probably not long till it's open. Poorhouse asked, do you think they're ever going to add a dispatcher? That would make the routes way more exciting to me. Yeah, look, I like signalling functionality. I kind of like that in SimRail. So I wouldn't mind it. I don't ever play in SimRail as me. I play as someone else. Because I just do. It's a proper power on. So it would be cool. Have you ever seen the Run 8 dispatcher where you can see the entire network and you control the lives of all the other players? That's good fun. I love doing that. The challenge with Run 8, playing it on your own is fine, but if you want to get into the multiplayer, it can take a long time to actually crack into a server properly so that they'll let you be the dispatcher. They won't let just anyone do it, and they have to get to know you and trust you. Skipping this one on our way to Guide Bridge. Poorhouse says, until you miss the PZB sign. Yes, bro, play the game as well. It's not that simple. LZB and AFB do make it a bit less challenging though. Florian says, for me it depends on how much time I have. I enjoy almost all types of trains in Train Sim World. It just depends on my mood and the time I have, even like WSR, which most people find boring. I like putting an ICE3 on WSR and just making it go really fast. That's just me. But yeah, I have played, I think I've done about a quarter of the services on West Somerset, so. And it's quite interesting because you're driving in a simulator at 20 mile an hour. It is actually not exciting at all. But the little railway I work on, we average 9 mile an hour and it's quite exciting in the loco. Keeping my speed down deliberately because I've learnt. It means I'll be a bit late on the timetable, but I've learnt. Yeah, Anarchist Angel, the LZB end, which gives you back to PZB. Yeah, but if you don't acknowledge it, it stops the train. We've all been there. I'm going to start this slowing down very gently, even though I've got a mile to go. Actually, it seems to be slowing down okay, so maybe I won't do that. Simon says, ultimately the tram connection was built instead and some of the rail lines were converted to trams. Then they made a second tram connection. It's the old age thing. What should come in the city, light rail or heavy rail? And there's probably no wrong answer. And there's probably no truly right answer either. It's just one of those things. Oh, house, be nice. Anarchist Angel does have the game. Simon says they built the Ordsall curve so that mainline trains can serve both by going back on themselves, and that caused congestion on the Oxford Road line. Yes, the best laid plans. I'm slowing down way too early. Problem with trying to read the chat. Florian likes putting steam engines on WSR. That would be a good plan. I just like steam engines. It's probably because I fire them. It's actually funny, it's been a few times recently people who watch this channel have come up to me on the engine and gone, "Hi, I know you," and I go, "Yeah, but I don't know you. Who are you?" Some of them are people that I actually have gotten to know, but other ones are just lurkers. The ones I do know, I tend to invite them up into the cab to have a look. Can't take them anywhere anymore on a cab ride, unfortunately, but can get you in at a station to have a look if you're ever there. so late. You have a lot of German routes, Anarchist Angel. Yes, driving a train does require a bit of attention. It's like firing a steam engine. Your brain doesn't stop. Neither does your heart. You should see my Fitbit traces for the day. It's the German ones that have LZB, poor house. Quite a lot of routes with LZB. There's a lot of trains with LZB that are on routes that don't have LZB, so you can put them on the routes that do have LZB as well. LZB, if you're not familiar with it, folks, is the German cruise control, for want of a better word. It takes control of your train. Hello, Rail Label. Welcome back. House, you've got a lot of American routes, and they don't have LZB. And off we go. Dare I try and pick up some time? So if we're not sliding, I'm going to get away with it. Can I go into notch 4? No. Settle down. It's controlling the slip, I think. I was going to leave it there because it is accelerating. There we go. It controlled the slip. Let's try and pick up a bit of time between here and Flowery Field. LZB is very much a German signal. The routes that have LZB all do support it. There are trains on non-LZB routes where the train has LZB, and they all work quite well. Even the 187's LZB works these days. It was a bit woeful when it came out, but it's alright now. Driving HUD-less Florian is the pinnacle. I like driving HUD-less. I tend to only put it on when I'm streaming. I do run the top HUD. I do cheat a little bit. But with a short route, as you get to know it, you'd get away with turning it off. I saw all this brickwork and thought we were at the station. Stage says only keeps the V-Zeal because that would be known through the Ebola, which we don't have. There's been talk of Ebola, so don't rule it out. Not going to pretend it's going to come around the corner. But don't rule it out, there's people interested in doing it. Even later. those who don't know it, probably the simplest way to describe Ebola is it tells you about the upcoming timetable, the track conditions, and what's happening around the next corner. That's probably the simplest way to describe it. Poorhouse pulls the HUD up to see the next speed sometimes. Yep, I tend to leave that top one on. But I get this is the one I get rid of. I often drive like this. When I'm driving in beta, I have to have the HUD on because they want to know what's going on. So you record all the runs. Little kids playing. This must be a school or something here. Let's see if this experiment works. Is there a slipping display on here? There isn't really, is there? Anarchist Angel said, started making your own bookfar plan for mains goblins, but it's so much work and guessing involved. Yes. I do. So I know someone else who did them in Excel for a couple of the routes. Have a look on the forums. I think they published them. And Anarchist Angel said, because some signals are only marked as 0 to be bugs in the game. Yes, it does happen. And Poorhouse asks, do you think TSW3 is coming soon? I don't know. They don't let me in on these things. Not lost any more time. This is good. Seem to be getting away with this. Anarchist Angel says they're still fixing bugs for TSW2. Fixing them, but not releasing them. Hopefully they will. And they told everybody they would, so they should. Mind you, if people are still on TSW2 after the last sale, you could get TSW3 with 3 routes. I think the cheapest combination I saw was $8. So, why would you still be on 2? Poorhouse thought the kids were his TV. Excellent. My work here is complete. Doors open. Tree again. People that are well prepared for the snow. Florian says that. Oops. Poorhouse says Anarchist Rangers didn't know that. They're all over the place. Off we go to Hattersley. I do hear some slipping there. We'll drop back to 3. But a zap from the pantograph followed by thunder. Ooh. I should stay up here. Rail Abel's going to go eat lunch. Alright, see you then. It would be cool to get UE5 at some point. The only downside of going to UE5 is it changes the minimum specs for the game a lot. So a lot of people wouldn't be able to play it anymore. Yeah, there are people who say TSW2 is better than 3 and they go, it doesn't stutter and it doesn't pause, but yeah, it does. I've still got it. I still run it sometimes. Yeah, it definitely does. And if you look on the forums, you will find lots of people complaining about it stuttering and so in past years. So it definitely does. If you ever do apply to be a train driver, Florian, don't tell them you drive a simulator. It doesn't go down well. I thought that guy was going to jump off. Comes running towards the platform edge like that. It's like, ah, it's not good. Not good. You know, for snow, I'm impressed with 3 yards. And we're not any later. It's good. You don't have to be a real train driver to enjoy the game. I think as someone who works on an engine, I get more out of it than people who don't, because I know aspects of it that actually are quite realistic. It's not all realistic. I know which bits aren't too. But, for example, getting into a train and setting it up to drive away is not a 2-minute exercise. It takes you quite a long time. But there's a reason for that. The operators don't really want you to know how to start up a train, because, you know, people will. It needs to be some secrets. Stacking your passengers. It sounds like Japan. Bicycle race coming up soon. Walkout says the last update they did about a week ago, it messed some things up, not running like it did before that update, at least to me. I wouldn't have noticed what happened last week because I've had the updates for a while, but document what you're experiencing and in what circumstances and pop it on the forums, because they're always looking for things like that. They like to hear from people. If you don't want to pop it on the forum, get it to me and I'll pass it back via Ambassador. Because if you're experiencing issues, you won't be the only one. What can be really good though is to reset it. So these do a verify in Steam, make sure everything's okay. If you're running any mods, get rid of them and test again. And then put them back and test again. And Angel says, it reminds me of the guy in New York who kept stealing trains and driving services properly. He went to prison over it and asked what he would do afterwards, and he said he will do it again. Yeah. I should just give him a job. So some services in Southeastern High Speed are a tad broken. I know there's some timetable changes for Southeastern High Speed. Like, a lot. There's something 500 and something new services. Nearest I've got to Colonel Cam. Xbox S, no Steam or PC, you can't reset. Can you uninstall it and reinstall it? But if it's happening to multiple people, it probably won't be that. Anarchist Angel says there was a petition they should hire the New York guy, but they refused because they feared others would do the same. They didn't want to hire felons, which he now was. Well, they probably have got a few. There are some very funny drivers in New York with the announcements they make. I've run Scenario Planner on MML. There's quite a few stopping places on it. Not all of them, but there's a few. Morehouse says Xbox is very good. You never have to reinstall any game. It is just running Windows, you know. Proving you can do it, Anarchist Angel. I hear children yelling again. Yeah, that's Pavlov's reaction. Rolling into dinting. It does slip and slide in the snow, so you need to change your braking pattern. We're almost back on time though. Made up a lot of time there. Make up a little bit to Hadfield, or Glossop in this case, and then back to Hadfield. Cars get headlights. Look at that. Got headlights. I've never noticed headlights of the TSW cars before. When did that happen? Off we go to Glossop. Anarchist Angel says, share a story when doing the medical examination for DB. There is a test where you see colours and hear sounds and must press 7 different buttons and 2 pedals accordingly. Hearing a high-pitched sound meant you have to press the light grey button, but my muscle memory always made me slam the pedal. I was still slightly above average, but messed up my score. Yeah, we do sound and vision tests as well. You get out the dreaded colour book and you have to tell them what the numbers are. And some of the circles with numbers in them don't actually have numbers in them, they're just tricks. And you go, there isn't one. And they go, yeah, we know. Spirited running and do a hard brake down to 10 mile an hour up here. On our way into Glossop. all our way in. Our hearing test's only got 2 buttons, but they have to, they play sounds in either ear, and you have to, with your thumbs, tell them which ear you heard the sound in. AWS forced a penalty break. Yeah, let me show the cheats way of fixing it. There you go. Now you know how to fix an AWS penalty break without waiting the minute. Off emergency forward release. Off you go. For every system, there's a way around that system. Let's get these people moving, and we'll get this ready to go back to Hadfield. There was an option that you could just make it always return to free roam at the end of the service. That would be cool. Jump out in the cold, this end. It's late. Surprised I didn't get an AI and leave. It's probably a cat annoying my other half. Get out of here. Off to Hadfield. And once we get to Hadfield, that'll be the end of the stream for today. Our whole railway's single track. 18.6 miles of single track. Apart from in platforms where we can pass each other. Thing about running HUDless is it's much less obvious when I'm speeding. One of the challenges when you ride a train for real is then you come back to the game and you start picking it apart. Through the dinting triangle again. I think you'll enjoy it, Florian. I know I do. It's not perfect, but it's pretty bloody close. like that. The windscreen wipers started squeaking when we were going under the bridge. That was a nice touch. Because they don't have enough snow on them. Do you like that, Anarchist? Is back of my train through there yet? Yep. We go to Hadfield. Can we get there on time? I was actually expecting a few more for this stream, but I was looking around before and there are 7 ambassadors streaming it at the same time. So that would be why. The ones with 10 and 20,000 followers certainly beat the guy with 2. See the fixed signal? Can see the platform. Can hear children shouting again. And we're arriving in the same minute, so we've made up about 6 minutes there. Yeah, the small streams are fun, Anarchist. Because you can get to talk to nearly everybody that wants to. It's a very narrow thing getting to do this because at midnight last night I had the hardware put back together and some of the software installed. And I had to get the rest finished after work. So, and at lunchtime. So we got there. And there we go. That's it. Did I get a glod for this one? We'll find out. Silver. Gah. Silver. I left late, arrived late, and I only get a silver. I don't know. Oh, I might have been speeding a little bit too. That was naughty. Oh well, there we go. Glossop to Hadfield and Manchester Piccadilly. Good fun. Short route. Lots to do. Tons of layers if you've got the other English routes. Nearly all the English routes contribute to the layers. Not all of them, but nearly all of them. And even DB cargo. So the Germans have invaded. Again. Anyway, and no, it's not too early for that joke. It never is. Enjoy yourselves, and we shall catch you on Sunday. I'll be running Glossop again on Sunday with a longer stream, and actually it probably won't be a longer stream because it's probably about the same length, but there you go. And we'll do some more stuff, and we'll probably do a bit more freight too on Sunday, I think. All right, have fun, folks. Good to have you around. See you later. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I always like to get your feedback in the form of likes and comments because they help me understand what you want. Give the channel a subscribe and click on the tinkly things so you don't miss out on any new stuff. And thanks for your ongoing support. And please, be safe out there.